your brain, you're in the nerds domain. Come on in, it's about to begin.
Hi everybody, and welcome back to Nerds Domain. I'm Matt.
I'm Shirley.
I'm John.
I'm Jesse.
And this week we're doing a Whatcha Doin, where we talk about what we're doing in our lives that's geeky and fun.
Woo!
And since Shirley wooed, we'll start with her and books.
Yay!
Go ahead.
I'm reading The Hobbit.
Still
reading The Hobbit.
Yeah.
But that's
And The Wheel of Time, number 5.
But that's going to ruin the ending of the movie.
No, I don't believe it will at all.
No, because it's way off
Because
boundaries.
the book and the movies, as I've noticed, are
Two in a row.
two totally separate things.
Well, welcome to the club.
And the thing is,
It's not that either one's better than the
no,
other.
you're
but
right. Because what Peter did cinematically with the movie needed to be done for our times.
Yeah.
Or people wouldn't be interested.
Mr. Gandalf just disappearing for no reason whatsoever. People
Mr.
would
Gandalf?
Whatever.
It's Mr. Gandalf.
He called Peter Jackson Peter, so I called Mr. Gandalf Mr. Gandalf.
I don't think it's Mr. Gandalf.
I'm with you, Jesse. I'm right there. I'm in your corner.
I mean, it is Mr. Frodo.
It's not Mrs. Cher.
It
but
is Mr. Frodo.
That's fair. Except Frodo has a last name too.
Yeah, Baggins.
Well, do you want me to call him Mr. Grey? Because he's Grey currently.
Yeah, I'd be happy with that.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Actually, it would be, because the is his middle name.
that's just creepy.
So,
A
any other...
little inside baseball on that. It has only been, 3 weeks since we last recorded one of these? 2 weeks. So Shirley's not that slow of a reader, although she's a slow reader.
No, actually,
I
she's-
am that slow of a reader.
She's clipping through this one pretty good. I would say about halfway through, aren't you?
Yeah, about halfway through.
It looks like about halfway through, which is way faster than she reads the Wheel of Time books.
That's what
The
I'm
thing
saying.
is, like,
The
they
Wheel
were
of
just like doing the same stuff over and over
Book 5
and
does.
over again.
Book 5 slows. Book 5 is very slow.
It's slow.
Right
It's a slow story to start with.
It's right before they get to the desert.
Okay, do
Oh,
you know
yeah.
how many times I had to start book 1? I think it was
Dude.
literally like 10 times. I had to start it 10
Book
times.
1, I argued that same thing. Book 1 is written like that on purpose. There's a reason for that, and
Yes.
I'm with Johnny completely on this now.
Yeah.
Do you feel like, though, The Hobbit's a better action story? Like, it keeps you more engrossed? Because I had a hard time putting it down, because it's just like event after event after event.
In the book or the movie?
The book.
Hold on.
Our conversation's
That's interesting.
gone somewhere. I've lost
Because
That's okay.
it's a book. It's my book. The book I'm reading.
No. Johnny's lost on what we're talking about now.
That's interesting because I am very, very interested in the book. It's very engaging. So I would say yes. I haven't got past Rivendell yet, though. So they just left
Be
Rivendell.
warned, if you go to read the other 3, it's like a completely different author wrote it.
Yeah.
The Lord of the Rings, the trilogy.
Yeah, because you get like 6 chapters into the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and you still have yet to start the story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a whole
Really?
chapter.
Yeah, it
there's
is a
literally a whole
completely different
chapter
story.
talking about pipeweed, where it comes from, the origin, why this one's different from. I swear to God, it's like the 3rd chapter, and I'm
Yeah.
like,
Oh, awesome.
because I was listening to the audiobook, and I'm like, wow. Even though I'm playing World of Warcraft, I'm bored out of my skull.
So you get a history lesson.
Oh my
Yeah.
I
gosh.
remember as a kid when I switched, I had to make sure it was the same guy, not just using the same pen
Did you
name.
keep looking
So-
at the front of the cover?
Jesse, or I'm sorry, not Jesse, because you're going to have a grumpy opinion. John, what do you think the comparison between the start of Hobbit and the start of the Wheel of Time? Do you see similarities there?
Oh, yeah.
Small town,
Yes.
names a bunch of people, and you have to try and figure out what's going on. Development.
Robert Jordan was definitely using the same story structure as
Because the
Tolkien.
only thing of Hobbit I've read is the freaking 13 Dwarves.
Yeah.
Over and over. I literally read that first chapter 5 times and went, I'm done. I can't read this book anymore.
And I mean, there's a lot to compare between the Wheel of Time series and the Tolkien Hobbit Lord of the Rings books, because they're both world-spanning adventures that start in
Tiny little towns.
Towns. Yeah, so
With one guy who knows what's going on, and everybody
not
else is kind of
even.
bumped.
Well, yeah, I guess Moraine kind of knows what's
She
going on to
knows
a point.
way more
than
of what's going on than
anybody
anybody
else.
else. Yeah.
So yeah, in Wheel of Time they start out and they basically Robert Jordan bores you to death with the intricacies of farm life
Yeah,
in this tiny town.
The
So
May
that-
Festival or whatever it was.
Right, yeah.
The
so
first
that-
Belltime.
The
Belltime.
The
I
first
didn't
4
find
chapters.
that
I
boring.
actually
Well,
loved it. I loved the first book. I
The
really
first
did.
4 chapters are very slow, like
Yeah.
and purposefully so.
Oh,
It's
well,
like
up until the
yeah.
Trolloc attack.
Yeah,
But you don't really need I felt like that. Like I said, I loved the first 3 books. The 4th book kind of dragged on, and I just lost interest in it.
And honestly, 5 drags on too, and then 6 and 7 pick right up.
There's a time
It was
where Rand is
described
stuck in a box.
so well that it felt like you could actually see the stuff going on, the city and stuff. And I like that. It's better than Stephen King ever tried to do.
Well, no, Stephen King has
Yeah.
that book.
I don't need to know the direction the blades of glass are blowing to get into a horror novel.
That's okay. Well, unless that's part of the story point.
It wasn't.
Okay.
I don't think. I didn't finish it.
So maybe what we should do is you should reread the Wheel of Time series. Hold on. Reread it.
Yeah.
Then read The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. I'll do the same. And then we'll have a serious, in-depth discussion. 2-hour discussion. Special podcast just for that.
All right, check back in 2017 to see if that actually happens.
That's a good point, yeah.
So are you saying that because you guys are the quickest readers, or...
No, it's just Jesse. Jesse already hates the Wheel of Time and won't read the rest of it. Johnny's willing to read both of them, so am I.
Oh, yeah.
And if we waited for you, it'd be 2035.
But I'm getting done.
Honestly, knowing that the series is finished, I'm more apt to get back into it.
I think you should.
Yeah, I mean, I'm already gambling on one guy not finishing his story with Game of Thrones.
Oh,
so
you
I'm
mean
not
2?
really-
Because you like Jim Butcher, right?
Yeah, I don't think that book's ever going to end. I don't believe
Dresden,
that.
right?
Dresden.
Yeah.
I think it has an endpoint.
He said there's like 23 books in total is his planned goal. And he's getting there quickly.
But he still has an endpoint.
Yeah, he does. But
And he puts one out every year and a half, doesn't he?
easily, yeah.
But is it a through story in every one? I've not read the books.
Only one of his entire books ends in a cliffhanger, and he said that's not really a cliffhanger if you read the book.
It's a through story the same way that Golden Age comics are a through story.
Well, that's what I was getting at. Like the television show, which I know is completely different.
Yeah.
And part of that other podcast topic we're going to try and get into, but in the television show, it was case by case. I was under the impression that the books were a case at a time.
It is,
well,
but there's
a small-
overarching goal, and some people make reoccurrences.
Yeah.
And the thing with the books is it's a case by case, but in that first book, you meet there are 3 very serious plots driving through the whole thing. And
But
all of them
all in
kind of
one
coalesce
case,
together, and you
yeah.
deal with it all at once, but it's all in one case.
Yeah.
So, I like it. I like the first one. I just haven't gotten around to read the rest.
Yeah.
I had Jurassic Park. So, Shirley, that's it for you? Just those 2 books? Let's bring that back around, right?
Yeah. That was a tangent.
It was about books all the time. That's
Right.
all it was.
If we weren't going to talk tangents, we would never have podcasts.
Well, I am
No.
reading the trade back that you gave me for PvP.
Trade paperback.
Whatever.
The first player PvP trade paperback.
Yeah, so I'm doing that for review. So
That
I'm
I
not
wish-
going to go into depth about that.
I wish I would have known that Scott Kurtz was going to be at the thing, so
Oh,
I could have
yeah.
gotten Gen Con, so I could have gotten that signed.
Oh, well, I guess I could have said something because
I didn't even pick up on it, and I didn't listen to Comic Dorks until a week after Gen Con.
yeah,
So, John, what have you been reading?
nothing,
Nothing?
Nothing.
Not a thing?
not a thing. I mean,
Not even the back of your eyelids when you go to sleep.
Emails?
for two
Email?
2 hours a night. Yeah, that's all. That's what I've been doing for the past month.
Oh,
2 hours a night sleeping. Thanks,
hey,
work.
that's awesome.
Anyway, no, I mean the closest thing to a book I do is audiobooks and podcast, which are come in podcast form to me. So we'll save it for that section.
Do you have Spotify?
I don't.
Okay. There are books on there.
Yeah,
Call of Cthulhu's on there.
cool. I also have an app. All the book, well, not all the books, but a lot of the books that are in public domain are read and made audiobooks.
Okay.
I have an app that I can listen to things.
You should definitely talk about that in the app section.
I guess I should. It's just been so long since I've actually used it. So,
Yeah.
and before we started this podcast stuff.
Fair enough. So, no books. Okay. Jesse.
I am reading an anthology collection of H.P. Lovecraft's early works.
Okay. Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah, expect all of my book reviews to be short things of that.
That's okay. Because
But
the
yeah.
first one, I like that the way you wrote it, and it was
Yeah.
interesting. What was that?
The Beast in the Cave.
Beast in the Cave.
Yeah.
And that review is up on the website.
It is. I also have a, what did you call it, like the comic book trade thing, the big
Trade paperback?
Trade paperback. I have a trade
Wow.
paperback
Thank
version
you.
of
Thank you,
uh,
Jesse, because
the Red Lantern thing.
Oh, okay.
series.
Nice.
A friend loaned me, and I'm trying to get through that. I'm not a big comic reader, especially with superheroes, but I like the bad guys, and this is about the bad guys.
Have you
so.
read Atomic Robo?
I read the free one.
The free comic book day.
That's it?
Yeah,
That's
that's
all
it.
you read?
Yeah, it looked interesting, but
You should pick up the trades. Even if it's you pick up the first one and you don't pick up any other ones,
yeah.
I would guarantee you'll enjoy it, and if not, I will pay you back for it. I mean, that's how much I will stand behind that.
Can I have the extra copy if he turns it into you?
No, because it's all digital on comics.
Oh,
But no,
sorry.
I feel like I would like that again. When I say I don't like comics, I do like comics. I love Dark Horse growing up. I've just never gotten into superheroes.
Fair enough.
There are some good superhero stories I would point you towards.
Yeah,
The current Hawkeye series is fantastic.
I do need to pick that up. And I kind of like DC more than any of the others. But growing up, the only kind of comics I got were the grab bags of 15 random comics and getting Thor issue 276 and then Spider-Man 739. There was no continuity ever. And I just thought this was...
Continuity?
Continuity? What did I say?
Continuity.
Continuity. I like that word better. Continuity.
All right. Well, I've just started my third go-through on a book called Crush It by Gary Vaynerchuk. It's all about pursuing your passions and making them money off of them. It's really, really solid. I have that on audiobook though. What else have I been reading? Oh, I got back into Uncanny X-Force because I stopped reading it when I figured out they were going to stop it, and then a couple weeks ago we talked about it briefly, and I'm back.
Yeah.
I'm really not looking forward to the end, just because I know it's going to stop, and Rick Remender is really good in that. And they have Age of Apocalypse Nightcrawler in there.
Yeah.
Which, I'm all about Nightcrawler and Age of Apocalypse Nightcrawler. And essentially Age of Apocalypse Nightcrawler hating everyone because they're too happy.
Yeah.
Because his world sucks and everyone here is too happy. And he's telling that to, Wolverine and Psylocke, who are not happy people.
Yeah.
And then I've been reading a couple other comics just here and there as I get through them. Rereading Atomic Robot all the time. So, John, we'll start with you on podcasts.
Okay. Well, I've been really big into the what do they call themselves as a group? The Podcastle, Pseudopod, and Escape Pod. That's
okay.
They have a network that I'm spacing on the name of, but they are Podcastle is fantasy, Pseudopod is horror, and Escape Pod is sci-fi. And they do short stories and then have people writers submit short stories, and then people who work for or with the websites read them, record them so that they can put them out as a podcast.
You've listened to the others, right? Because I've only listened to Pseudopod. Do they go into an in-depth explanation of it at the end of it like they do in the Pseudopod, or is it just
varies episode to episode. What the structure is, they have, like I said, they are all technically a network, and they trade off to accommodate lives, things that come up. So what they have are assistant editors, and those are the hosts of the show. I'm drawing a blank on his name now, but like the British guy who usually does Pseudopod, who does the intro about this stuff is scary stories. You may not like it. Turn it off if you don't like it. Alistair, that's his name.
That's
Alistair. He's read and opened on Podcastle a few times that I'm aware of.
Okay. So it's not like an overarching thing. It's just him.
No, Alistair is generally in charge of Pseudopod, and the other twos have people that are generally in charge, but things come up and somebody fills in. So it depends on who's doing it as to what they say. It also seems to be the author has to give a write-up of what the story is about. So if the author doesn't give them a lot to go on, they're not going to put words into somebody's mouth, so yeah. And then the discussion, they have a forum that discusses the stories after the podcast goes up, and there's a lot of great discussion on that.
I didn't know they had a forum.
Yeah, because occasionally they read comments about the story 2 or 3 stories ago to kind of give a general feel of what people thought of it, and it's some good stuff going on that network of websites and podcasts. So I suggest people check it out.
Okay. I have been listening to a lot. Obsessive Viewer a little bit. They just finished up their Summer of Sandler, where they watched every one of Adam Sandler's movies and discussed it.
Including Earth Girls Are Easy?
No, that's not him. That's Jim Carrey.
Oh, yeah, you're
That's
right.
definitely
I'm
not
sorry.
Adam Sandler.
Brain
Yeah,
fart.
you're fine.
No, there was one I was thinking of that people forget he's in.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look
I've been
it up.
listening to that. I
I'll be
listened
an
to Red Panda. Dakota Ring Theater. So a little bit of Red Panda, a little bit of Blackjack Justice.
You caught up yet?
No,
Oh.
they just stopped Von Schlitz again. And then the Magic Circle has been destroyed.
Oh, all the magic users are
Yeah,
gone?
so I'm behind quite a bit.
Yeah.
But I really am enjoying those. Stuff you missed in history class. I'm been listening to those a lot. And I just started stuff they don't want you to know audio, because they have the video but I can't watch stuff. So
Yeah.
I've been listening to the audio that just started back in November. So it's, I guess, almost a year now. But those are really good too. Shirley, what have you been listening to? Nothing?
Nada.
Not a thing?
Not a thing.
So you're-
Spotify.
So you, well, what do you listen to on Spotify? Let's go ahead and talk about it.
I like classical jazz. I like some Louis Armstrong. I like pop standards. Nat King Cole, Sammy Davis Jr.,
Do you
Billie
have to-
Holiday, Ella Fitzgerald.
Do you have to pay for Spotify?
If you want it mobile.
If you want it mobile, no, that's wrong. If you want it, free?
ad-free.
Ad free. If you want it ad free, and if you want to be able to skip and go to certain songs. If you go, I have 2 accounts, one that's paid, one that's not. On the one that, because Matt will listen to it sometimes, so on Spotify, if you go into an unpaid account, you can listen to it. It's hard to listen to it offline unless your phone is really good at streaming and it has a really good signal. But you can't choose. Like, you'll go into a playlist and you'll hit shuffle, and it'll just shuffle through the song list that you have created.
Oh, but you create your own song list?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
The only thing I can compare it to is Pandora, because Pandora's what I'm currently using.
Pandora is great for finding new music. It really is. If I'm like, I like They Might Be Giants, it's like, well, okay, let's go through some stuff that sounds like them. And I'm like, ooh, who is this? And I'll pull stuff that way.
Yeah.
Some of their connections are a little tenuous, but
Oh,
overall, I
yeah.
agree.
Yeah, my heavy metal with the sea chanties. But
The difference with Spotify is you go find you can either find playlists, but you go find songs you want to put in a playlist, and you
Okay.
build your playlist.
Nice.
So like I grabbed all of Professor Elemental, and it's all on a playlist except for his instrumental only CD that I put in its own, because then I can do that while I'm typing and writing and stuff. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I have all of Deadmau5 in one playlist, so I can listen to that anytime I want.
So that's on the unpaid.
That's paid. That's all.
No.
shit.
That's paid.
How much is
Spotify
paid?
is both.
$10
It's
a month.
$10 a month.
Pandora's
Oh.
paid also, and you don't get ads. Which
Yeah, which I don't mind the ads on it, because if you
Yeah.
listen to radio, it's not intrusive.
if I listen for 4 hours at a time at work, and by the end of that 4 hours, I'm getting an ad after every
Oh,
song.
Yeah.
really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's what I don't like about Pandora. So, Spotify is more intriguing.
Yeah, Spotify, and they have a lot. Things you wouldn't think they'd have. They also have audiobooks on there.
Which
picked
I
up,
didn't know about until Matt found them yesterday.
Yeah, I picked up Call of Cthulhu and a couple others. I'm gonna have to I'm gonna go look at my playlist.
I'm adding it, downloading it now.
It's honestly, it's for $9.99. It's a fantastic. It's a fantastic deal if you've got the extra money.
I think I've had it for like two years now, and I love
Yeah.
it.
See, that and Pandora is something I haven't been able to do, because I've just recently gotten unlimited data, and I stream everything.
I got the first book of the Foundation trilogy and Jabberwocky.
Yeah, like Matt said, if you want to find new music, just go put in an artist, and it'll start popping up all different artists from that genre of music. And then you can go onto Spotify and build your playlist from that.
Also, does Shazam work directly with Spotify?
Yes, it does.
So you know what Shazam is?
Not a clue.
So we'll talk about that in the app.
Yeah.
That's fine. Well, let's move on. So
Well,
Jesse, what have you listened to podcast-wise?
Podcasts. I had it brought up. The Angry Chicken. It is a Hearthstone podcast, which Hearthstone is an app.
Angry Chicken?
Yep, it's
That's
Angry Chicken.
awesome.
The Angry Chicken is a card in Hearthstone that is absolutely horrendous.
It's amazing. I've actually seen it work.
Have you?
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
But they have different. They talk about strategies, deck building ideas, how to get through certain things, and Max Ramus.
Okay.
I'm also listening to Risk, which is something I started listening to do a review of. I absolutely love them.
You might check the site to make sure nobody else has done a review of Risk.
I did a review of Risk.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. You started.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I did
It's
the
like,
review of Risk.
That sounds familiar. I
Which
think
I
somebody's
need to
reviewed
kind of
that.
edit because
Yeah.
one of the reasons I think I gave it a 4.5 instead of 5, and after I've listened to every one of them they've had, that's not as big of an issue as I thought it was at the time. But anyway, also I've been listening to the Vita cast because I have a PlayStation Vita and it's hard to find news about that.
Did you hear the big news this year?
What big news?
The Coruscant Empire fell, and now it's the Coruscant Senate. It's a podcast called FSL Tonight.
Oh yeah,
Fantasy Sports League. Yeah,
I would listen to that if I could get it from the start.
that's fair. That's fair.
I really would.
You can.
In the next season I will.
Go to their website.
Oh, and I've got unlimited data now too, so that's not a problem. The only reason I never did it before is I couldn't download it.
That's fair. All right, let's move on to games. We'll start with Jesse. Jesse,
Games. Well, speaking about the PS Vita, most of what I've been playing is on the Vita.
Okay.
I've started playing a game called Sword Art Online Hollow Fragment.
There's a game.
So
yes.
Sword Art Online.
Yes.
Keep going.
It's well, just for people who don't know what Sword Art Online is, this is a single player game that's based on an anime
Which
that is
they-
based on a comic that is based on a book
Right,
about
and-
people playing an online game.
Yeah, I did a slightly more in-depth explanation of it on the previous Whatcha Doin episode.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, because
I listen to that because
I just finished watching the anime.
I just
yeah.
watched up to the first
So,
part where
can-
the big event happens. That's where the
Yeah.
game takes off at. It's an alternate.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
So is this Yu-Gi-Oh?
No,
No.
Is it that same idea though?
No.
It's a card game based off.
No,
of
it's not- it's not a
cartoon.
card game.
It's a combat game. It's a
It's
sword
combat.
fighting
No,
game.
it's like World of Warcraft.
What I'm saying is it that same thing where they've taken this thing from Japan and it's all of these things?
No, not really.
Because I mean,
The
Yu-Gi-Oh
whole-
is a
Yeah.
card game based on a cartoon
No,
based
this-
on
This started off as a book, and it's just about people who they come out with this virtual reality headset, and when you put it on to go into this game, the creator made it to where if you
Right.
die in the game, it fries your brains and you
yeah
die in real life.
we got to run down
Yeah.
that. I don't want to bore our listeners too much, but
I wasn't here for that podcast.
Yeah.
I haven't listened
but
to it yet.
but it has all of these things too.
It does.
But
And you need a Vita, 'cause it's a great game.
For me, in my opinion, like let's go with Pokemon because I'm more familiar
Sure,
with that
sure,
one.
sure.
And you would
That's
say
fair. Yeah, it's similar
equivalent.
things. Yeah.
Pokemon was a video game first, which they made a cartoon and a card game and out of to mass market it to children.
Okay.
Sword Art Online is different in that it was a book and then a manga, a print comic, and then an animated Japanese television show. Now it's a video game. Those progressed out of each other. Like, hey, this book has a following. I'm going to make a manga out of it.
Okay.
Now I'm going to make a cartoon out of it. Now I'm going to make a video.
Are they all different stories, or are they the same story retold? I'm curious.
The game takes place after a major event of halfway through the series.
Okay.
And that just didn't happen. They have to continue on to level 100. You start off... One thing I like about this is it's a role-playing game. You start off at level 75. I mean, you start off basic swing for like 4,000 damage. And it's just the same numbers, but it feels like more.
So after the main character has confronted the creator of the
Yes.
game, I'm with you.
Something reset all the
Yes.
skills.
Yeah.
Something reset.
So it's not the same story rehashed
No.
in
No.
4 different ways. It's 4 different stories in the same general.
Well, I don't
I
know
mean-
anything about the book or the
I've
manga.
never read the book of the manga.
Okay, that's fair. That's
So-
fair. I was just curious.
It sounds like the anime is an adaptation of the comic, and
Okay.
and the comic is probably an adaptation of the book.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the game seems to be its own storyline.
Okay.
It does have some major flaws. For some reason, it is translated horrendously. I mean, to the point of you have to try to decipher what it is. I mean, it's in English, but
That's weird.
It's just it wasn't
Bad
translated
English?
well. Yeah, bad English.
English.
That's it is in very big English.
No, that's an internet term
It is.
for English that's done badly when it's translated. It's English.
That still doesn't mean that it's not.
I don't really know that. I don't know. Maybe
But
you're
I've
right.
got
Yeah.
to tell you about the game though. I've got 20 hours into it. I've completed 1 out of the 25 levels,
Nice.
Right on.
and it's
that's all on your Vita.
That's all on the Vita.
Okay.
The other game I've been playing is also on the Vita, and it's Hot Shots Golf. And it is an absolute blast for a golf game. You can play it online.
That's like the rude and funny golf
No.
series. No.
No, it's
Oh,
just
okay.
it doesn't take itself too seriously, but it still has that competitive edge. They have tournaments for this and everything.
Okay. Oh, like the bar arcade stand-up Hot Shots Golf.
Yeah.
That's
a
yeah.
lot like it.
Okay. Anyway.
Shirley, what have you been playing game-wise?
Right now I'm playing, like literally at this second, I am playing Trexels by Yes Gnome and Xcube.
Okay.
It's an app for the iPhone right now. I know that they're looking to release it on Android, but I don't think it's out yet.
No, they did it on the right App Store first.
It's I've been told it's similar to Tiny Towers, but you build your Starfleet. You're an admiral, so you build your you have a ship. You build your crew. You build your ship from a base ship. Like you only have the bridge or something.
Yeah, it feels a little bit like Tiny Towers, but there's more flexibility.
Yeah.
Tiny Towers for me, and I don't know about what you guys think about this. It felt very like railroady. Like next step,
that's
build
all
up.
it was.
Yeah, next step, build up. This one's like, here's your ship. Where do you want to put the medical bay? And that might not be the best idea, but okay. Like that's the way.
So
it
you
feels.
literally design, like they give you the frame and you fill it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's
Nice.
almost like a Sim Tower.
Yeah.
If you ever played that.
Yeah.
Instead of Tiny Towers.
And
Well,
then,
Tiny Towers is literally build vertical, and you don't even know. Like all you can do is the type of store.
Yeah.
Whereas this allows you to put the medical bay, the holodeck.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then at different levels, it gives you access to different areas of the ship. And then it's Sector 1. You have to go. This ship disappeared from the fleet, so you have to go find out what happened to that. And then at a certain level, it opens up Sector 2, and then you have like several planets and space stations that you have to complete the missions for that sector to move on to the next sector.
And
So
all the
you've
while
got
you're building ships to bolster your fleet.
well, you're building your ship
Ah,
so that you're able to complete more missions and upgrade your crew and stuff like that. And then a couple of games that we got from Gen Con. Lost Legends from Queen Games. We're getting ready to start that. It looks very D&D-ish, kind of. It's a very fantasy-heavy. Heroes are gathered to defeat this evil whatever. And then Upon a Fable by Discami. I'm looking forward to playing that. Haven't cracked haven't cracked that one open yet, so I don't have very much information, but that's this week.
Yeah, we just got Myth, not from Gen Con, but from people that were at Gen Con to review, and I cracked it, picked up the heavy rule book, put it back down, and went, I'll read this later because it was so much. I've been playing a lot of X-Wing because it's awesome. You should follow me on Instagram and watch me play X-Wing and destroy the Rebels and or Imperial fleet, depending on who I'm playing
Who
against.
you're playing against.
Shirley got really into it, and
I really like it. I like the style of dogfighting. I loved playing with the TIE fighters. Oh my gosh, it was a lot of fun.
I like X-Wing as well. Not that I've actually played it. I played a demo twice now. And I want to try out the D&D Flight of Dragons, which is using the same basic rules, but you have dragons and stuff.
Honestly, I'm more inclined towards Star Trek now.
That would be
but
another
the
one
flight,
on
the
my-
dragon thing is the bad. I'm inclined towards Star Trek because did you see the cube
I did not.
and the DS9? The cube is probably 6 inches cubed.
Yeah.
Oh, does that sound right?
That's bigger than the Millennium Falcon. How do you even mess with that base? You'll run right into
You
it.
don't. You put the cube down. It doesn't move. The
Oh.
DS9 is
center
the
of
same
your-
general size. So
that's
to
all
me, I want to play so I can get those, which I know those are a win thing, not a buy thing.
Oh, that's a shame.
And and then
But those become your scenario, I imagine.
or a big chunk of your scenario. Yeah.
You don't have to know anything about the Flight of Dragons yet, do you? Like how many players can play it?
2.
Because that's is it just 2?
2 is an option, but you can play with multiples.
Okay, because that's the one thing I liked about Star Trek over Star Wars is it's set up for possibility of 3.
Oh no!
And-
I get what you're saying.
Yeah. You could play with 3.
Star Wars, you can.
Yeah,
everybody
but-
has a ship, or everybody has a couple of ships. I get what you're saying, but you can play with more than just 2.
Okay.
You can
And-
because you could be like different squadrons.
And there's a new faction coming out for Star Wars.
Oh, is there?
Called It's essentially the outsiders that aren't part of either side.
I'm gonna say if it's the Vaughn,
Bounty
you got me
hunters.
sold.
No, that would be kind of
Isn't
awesome.
it like bounty hunters?
Bounty hunters are part of it. It's like
I
the
thought it was
underbelly or whatever. But yeah, there's another group coming out because they get the Z95 Headhunter. But we've been playing that. I also played. What else did we play over Scott's? What did we?
You guys played. Oh, Heroes Wanted.
Oh yeah, I've been playing Heroes Wanted.
Yeah,
Love
we've
Heroes
already
Wanted.
said that.
I still love Heroes Wanted. It's
Yeah.
good times. So John, what have you been playing?
Nothing.
Nothing.
No, work's been hectic, and I work nights, so these Saturday recordings are the only time I have to do anything that's not work related or drawing. So
Fair enough.
it's hard to play games while we're recording podcasts.
Yeah.
Unless
No,
we're playing
no,
Call
it's
of
not that
Cthulhu.
hard.
Yeah, we've done it. Yeah.
What? I didn't hear what you said.
I'm chomping at the bit to play House or Betrayal at House on the Hill.
It is a blast.
It can be a blast. Can be.
You played it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Once. The scenarios are so.
I didn't like it because of the people that I was playing with.
That
They bossed
makes a
me.
big difference.
The scenarios are also so very specific that if it doesn't fit just right, or if the right set of circumstances are there, it can be very unfun. Like, oh, you've got to escape the house before something happens, and everybody happens to be standing at the door when the betrayer is revealed. They just
Yeah.
walk out the door. Like, there are some situations
Yeah.
where it's not fun,
Right.
but there's a lot of situations where it's a very interesting take.
Like the
It
front
is.
door should be able to move.
Well, I've played the game a lot, and only one of them I'd really say wasn't overly enjoyable, and it was basically the same situation of all you had to do was get the book from the bad guy and throw it in the burner. The event started at
In
the
the-
burner,
in the furnace,
and the guy
yeah.
was there with him, and it's his turn to
Yeah.
go first.
Yeah.
So you just throw the book, throw it in the burner, and it's over.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So it was there's a lot of potential there. Did
Yeah.
you guys pick that up?
Yes. Found a guy that was selling it for less than MSRP because he had it since it's actually an old edition. Wizards' latest printing got water damaged, and it's not available right now.
Yeah, they just released some. A week
Okay,
ago.
well,
yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
it's back
Then
out again.
within
Good.
since
But
Gen
yeah,
Con
yeah.
at Gen Con, it was still $125 from Amazon.com.
yeah,
Got it for $40. So
yeah. That's about
I highly advise using dice to keep track of the numbers instead of the nips that
Yeah.
come with it. The nips never worked on any of the editions.
I haven't had a chance to play it, but
I did notice a lot of wear and tear on the
Yeah.
character thing, so you should keep an eye on that.
Yeah.
Just because.
but having a pile of D12s
yeah.
Yeah.
would be not a problem.
No, yeah.
So
So
and next D&D next,
yeah,
dying to play that too.
right on. So we'll go with apps, and we'll start with John.
Oh, okay. Well, I mentioned an app that or Matt told me to bring up.
Yeah, definitely.
Like I said, it's just been so long. I've had it since before we started the website, so I forgot about it. It is simply entitled Audiobooks from Traveling Classics. But what it is all of the, well, not all of them, a vast number of books that have fallen into public domain. People have picked up and read for an audiobook, and then posted it online somewhere. And this app has gone through, and I can't find the website that it used to be pulled from, but now this is the app that's pulling from that source. But people would post it to the website. You can then download it and listen to it on your own computer at your leisure. And then this audiobooks is the app that does that for you. The one problem I have is it does not always save where you're at.
That's what I was worried to
So
ask. Yeah,
if you're gonna be listening, you need to make note of that. But you can listen to the entire John Carter, Warlord of Mars, Frankenstein, all kinds of stuff.
Right.
There was a
All of Lovecraft stuff should at least be available for.
it's available.
Keyboard.
I found one or two, but
Okay,
I haven't.
cool.
I don't think they're all on there just because nobody has taken the time to do it.
Fair enough.
Chaucer,
Cool.
I forget the name of that.
The
thing.
Canterbury Tales.
Canterbury Tales. There are sections of that.
Okay.
So all kinds of stuff. If it's in public domain, you can look at Alice in Wonderland is on there. So
Fair enough.
good stuff.
Ooh, I wonder if the Wizard of Oz stuff is on there.
I don't believe. Yes, actually, there is. because I remember the Princess Made of China that appeared in the
the newest one.
Yeah, the movie. The story about her is on here,
Okay.
so I know that's available. And the only other app I'm playing with right now is Monster Legends, which I talked about before. It's sort of like Pokemon, you're raising a bunch of monsters, but it lacks the adventure exploring the world. It's more of a farming and fighting game.
Yeah.
So
They ran an ad on our website for a while, didn't they? Or our ad on
No,
our
that's
website
Poke,
trade that
that
up.
was Poke Farm.
Pokefarm. Yeah, this is
It all
Monster
sounds the
Legends.
same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Jesse, what have you been doing app-wise?
I've been playing a game called Shoot Moon. It takes up most of my time anymore. I have a review up for it on the website. It's simple. The moon is singing. You don't like it, so you decide to shoot rockets at it until it stops.
Oh my god, that's so horrible.
It is. And it's a surprisingly decent song. I like it singing. But now you gotta shoot missiles at
But
it.
you have to shoot it.
Hearthstone, I absolutely love Hearthstone. I play that about once daily to get my quest through. You get quests in it to earn gold to
Yeah.
buy packs. So I'm
Like
cheap.
daily, like every day you get a daily quest.
Yeah, every day you get a quest. Yes, and if you don't log in for 3 days, you get 3 quests.
Oh, okay.
So, which is nice also.
Okay.
And the last one I'm playing is a thing called Forge of Neon, which I'll be doing a review for it later. It's a free app that you can pay to actually save your creations, but it's a 3D environment to where you can control. You like slide your finger and it does these waves of light, and it just keeps doing that pulsating light through that motion constantly. So you can do like little sculptures in 3 dimensions that way. It's a hard thing to explain. So I haven't done a review for it yet.
Excellent. Okay.
But it's free. There's no reason not to check it out.
Okay. Shirley?
Other than Trektals, I've just been using like things to help with my daily life. I really love Gas Buddy.
Yeah.
If it's GPS based, so it's based off of the gas stations that you are closest to. If you it also has a map, so you can zoom in and out and see, like if you're 5 miles away and you know in 5 miles you're going to need to get gas, you can zoom in and or click on one, tell it to give you directions. Click on one of the nearest gas stations, tell it to give you directions. It'll pull it up on the map, and then you can zoom in on your map to look and see, what gas station will be 5 miles away. The only thing about it is not subscription, not whoever is user updated. So whoever downloaded the app, if they visited, a gas station at 5 o'clock in the morning and updated, then that's the price you're going to get. So if the gas station changed the price in the middle of the day, you may not get current, but close to current pricing. And then, of course, Groupon, and another app that I really like, it's GPS based, is called Parker, and that is a map. And if you're going into a city that you have to pay for parking, it gives you the garages and parking meters that are available near the area that you are.
Tell us a little bit about Shazam and how it interacts with Spotify.
Oh, I forgot about Shazam. We were going to talk about that. Shazam is it's music. I'm not going to say it's just music based, because I think it picks up on commercials too. But you can be out at a restaurant or something and there's a song that's playing and you're like, oh my gosh, I like this song. So you get your Shazam out, open it up, tap it, and it'll say listening. It'll listen to the music that you're sitting around, and then it'll tell you what it is. And it is hooked up to I know it's Spotify and iHeartRadio. There are a couple other apps that it's hooked up to, maybe iTunes, but you can either go purchase the music, or it will pull it up on your Spotify automatically, and then you can add it to whatever playlist that you have, whatever playlist you want to.
Is that the one where they had the ad on TV where it was auto-magically done? The guy would say it's auto-magically.
We don't watch TV,
Oh.
so I don't know.
Yeah,
It was a long time back, like
there
3 or 4 years ago.
I've been sitting in the theater, and you see a car commercial or something go on in the theater, and it says down in the corner, it says check out on Shazam. So you can go to Shazam and look up this car commercial, and I'm not exactly sure what you would do that unless you want the music from that commercial.
That might be why.
So
Might be why.
yeah, but it says check this out. Oh, check this out on Shazam to see the full commercial, because you get like a 10 second blurb in the theater.
Okay.
But I know that some, I guess some corporations, especially car corporations, are going to Shazam to do like a really quick 10 second commercial in the theater, and then if you Shazam it, it will pull the whole commercial up on your phone.
Which you should have your phone off because you're sitting at a movie theater.
Exactly. So.
Now she says that, and then during Jurassic Park, did you turn your phone off before it started? That's right.
I thought I did. Like, I think I clicked it the wrong way.
It's like they have this big ad. I don't know if this is in every theater, if it's just something we do, but they'll have the ad, turn off your cell phone now or else, basically.
Mm-hmm.
You're a horrible bad person. And then they'll say, if you text this number, we'll send you a message what your phone is dreaming while it's turned off.
Yeah,
It's like, but I
does your
just
phone-
turned my phone off. You
Does
told
your
me
phone dream? Yeah.
Okay.
I've done that
So
a couple times.
I have been using Instagram a lot to Instagram all of my food and X-Wing space battles. I've been using Yahoo Fantasy a lot because I'm 0-2 and need to keep my team up to date so I can try and actually win a week, maybe. That's not going to happen anytime soon, I don't think. I just recently downloaded SoundCloud and as an app, and I'm not sure I like it. It's really hard to maneuver and navigate to find the things you want. I'm kind of, I don't know, disappointed. What else am I using? Recordium, but that's just normal stuff. I think that's about it, though. So
Before we switch gears, I did think of another app I tried to use that I want to give a horribly bad review for. Microsoft Office Suite is a dirty liar. Because it says it's free when you go to download it.
it is free.
And then the first thing it pops up is you have to type in your code stating that you already own it to be able to use it.
Ooh.
Huh.
Thus,
is
they
a
have
dirty
avoided the
liar.
fact that it's on the iTunes store for $112, which is what the code would cost you.
Yikes. $112.
I was very disappointed. I would have just
Open Office.
Google Drive.
yeah. See, that's what if it had just given me a little sample. Microsoft Word Starter, they have it on the PC. It does like half the stuff. Nope, nothing. You got the code or nothing.
I have Quick Office that has all of those various types. I got it before Google Docs became a thing on phones, and it was $15, and I've not had a problem with it.
Yeah.
It has, I'd say, 80% of the functionality that Microsoft Office
I need to
normally
see if they
has.
have it because I use Evernote to. Well,
Drive is really good.
is Drive.
Drive
Does
is
it have a
good.
spell checker built in? Because Evernote
Yes.
has no spell checker, and that drives me insane.
Yeah.
Evernote used to,
Yeah.
and then they
don't.
updated it, and now I'm sure it's there somewhere, but I can't find
Yes.
it.
What's it called again?
I love Google
Uh,
Drive
Google
for the
Drive.
spreadsheets.
You're gonna depends. What are you gonna write on?
Huh?
Are you
My-
gonna be
my
doing?
iPad.
You're gonna be doing documents, or are you gonna be doing
Yes.
spreadsheets? And you want
Documents.
Google Docs
Okay.
because they just split that now into different ones. If you want to
Yeah.
edit
It is,
stuff.
but it's dumb. You can still use Drive.
Well,
No, you can.
mine requires me to sign into the other stuff to be able to edit them.
You can view everything in
Yeah.
Drive, but you have to go to Google Docs to edit it.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
Which
I
made
have
me
both.
angry.
I have both. I logged into both, and I go to Drive for the file management.
Yeah.
And then when I click on a thing I want to edit or do, it takes me to Docs, and then when I go back, it takes me to Drive.
Yeah, I know.
It's not that big of a deal.
It is if you want to save space because they both take space, and that was my frustration because I have them on my iPad.
But there's spaces. The space is on the cloud. It's on
The app itself takes space.
not that much.
It's 200 it's 200 meg apiece.
How much space do you have?
I 16 gig, but no, but okay. But here's the thing: I'm using presentations, I'm using spreadsheets, and I'm using
Okay.
docs. So there's 600 meg that I shouldn't have to download that I do, just to edit them. That's my issue.
I
Also,
agree. I
also
thought it was-
presentations doesn't let you play offline. Like play the presentation offline. You have to have internet connection.
Oh, that's dumb.
You can look at all the pages, just can't tell to play.
You don't have the option to make available offline like you do on Word files and
Nope.
spreadsheets.
Nope. I know that one's weird.
I mean,
So-
'cause, that one would then download it to your.
Yep.
your
Yeah.
your-
No, that wasn't an option.
Huh.
That one's kind of weird.
I've not
But
messed with
whatever.
presentations, so I don't know.
So, all right. So movies and TV. I'll go ahead and start.
Okay.
We have been watching Fringe
Yep.
a lot. We're at season 3.
A lot.
Gotten good. I'm really enjoying it now. Instead of kind of enjoying it. Season 1 was kind of slow.
I think it was that build up.
Yeah,
you
well,
had to get the backstory.
they also switched gears kind of hard at
Yeah.
the beginning of season 2, which is a good time to do it at least.
Yeah.
Well, instead of like mid-season,
No, yeah,
like,
no,
what,
that's
what
what
the
I
crap
was-
happened here.
Yeah.
The stories
what-
got pretty involved. I'm really enjoying the characters and the development because there's a lot of character development there. And Leonard Nimoy's in season 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Oh
3.
my gosh! About Wet My Pants.
Oh, really?
I was like,
Here and there, not a lot.
Well, see, I watched it when
so
it originally
awesome.
aired, and they spoiled the hell out of the fact he was
Oh.
going to be on the show. They didn't tell you what he was going to do.
Right.
Oh wow.
You knew he was the insane professor's partner, and you knew that his character ran the company.
Yeah.
But beyond that, they just said, "Oh, Leonard Nimoy's coming," and it was like, it was great. But yeah, like I would have loved to have been surprised when she got off the elevator and met him
Yeah.
that one time. So
It was exciting.
So we've been watching that. I finished up the season 5 of The League, which is amazing.
I still haven't watched the new season. I need to, but I absolutely love the league.
There's an episode where Taco is sober.
Oh, really? That's bound to be an experience.
Awesome. He starts Taco Core as a food truck and does not sell tacos, so it's the taco truck with American fare, so burgers, fries, wings.
so people like coming up on tacos,
And he's like, I don't understand why people want tacos all the time. Oh, it's so dumb.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's all about fantasy football for those
Yeah.
at home that don't know.
We've talked about it several times.
I'm sure we have, but new listeners. Hi, new listeners. It's a show. It's a good show. We're watching a little bit of Sopranos. I'm a little behind on that now, from where I wanted to be. What else? Is that it? Oh, I've been watching some old SVU that's on Netflix, which is like not even the newest seasons or the just released seasons or whatever. So I think that's it. Shirley, what have you been watching?
Fringe.
Yeah.
I mean, that's about all we watch, isn't
Did
it?
you watch any movies lately
Yes.
besides Safety Last?
Jurassic Park,
Yeah, we did. That was a good one.
which was really interesting on the big screen. I don't think I've ever seen it on the big screen.
Oh,
before.
really? Yeah, it's an experience.
So yeah, it was really nice. And Once Upon a Time. I'm in the second season of that. I'm almost through that.
Is that any good? I mean, I know you're obviously into the second season, but
I really like it. I mean, I would say it's like on a scale of 1 to 5. Both seasons that I've watched so far, the acting and the story's really good. The acting and the execution is about a 3.
Do you like
I
Fables?
would say.
Have you ever read Fables?
I tried. I didn't like the comic, the art direction, but I like the storyline.
Then you might enjoy Once Upon a Time because it's a
Yeah.
similar concept.
Is it a police procedural?
No.
Okay.
No.
I find that the first season is slow at points.
It is.
Second season seems to have picked up quite a bit.
The actor who plays Rumpelstiltskin is my favorite actor on television right now.
He's pretty fantastic.
And if you like Stargate Universe, if you like Stargate at all,
Yeah, they're all there.
Stargate Universe, he's amazing villain / not villain. Like he's pragmatic, so he's amazing on that show as well. So I've been told by somebody who's into it, watching it currently, that the narrative sort of falls apart. Like they divide themselves up and tell 5 different storylines in the same episode, which gets problematic. But they're sticking with it for now. So
Yeah.
that's.
I might have to give it a shot. It sounds interesting.
Anything else you've been watching, Shirley?
I think that's about it.
Okay.
Like, I don't. Yeah. That's
Okay.
all we've been watching.
Jess, what about you?
I'm watching Doctor Who with the family.
Where you guys at?
We are on season 3 of the new stuff.
Okay.
So right about where I stopped watching it. We're also watching Torchwood in between, which
Okay.
Is that good?
Yes.
it's compared to what you like. It's a little bit gorier and it's a lot more NCIS whatever numbers those things do. It's a police procedural done in the
CIS.
Doctor Who universe.
I really did not like it.
NCIS is the
Yeah.
Navy one.
I didn't like
And
the first
do you
season
like
at all.
Harkness?
Jack
Jack
Harkness.
Harkness.
Captain Jack.
Yeah.
He is in it, but he is not as Captain
Gross.
Jack as he typically is. He's not as horn doggy as he should
he's
be,
in
which
Green
kinda,
Arrow.
Yeah.
he's in
Or
Arrow.
Arrow.
Yeah,
Sorry.
the actor
Yeah.
who plays Jack Harkness is
Oh,
the
I
big
need-
villain in season
He's
1.
he's the guy's
Arrow.
father.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've watched the first season of Arrow.
So
I like
is
it,
he
but I
kind of
haven't.
like that? Or?
No, he's big into it. It's the same character, even, but he's just not as.
Smarmy.
Yes, that's the word.
Smarmy.
And
okay.
then the woman they team up with is just an absolute dork, and it's
Cute
weird.
dork,
No,
or
like,
do you
absolutely-
wish she was not in the role.
She's. I don't know how she'd be intelligent enough to survive outside of a Doctor Who universe.
Fair enough. So.
But I like the other supporting characters.
Anything
There's
else
like
you're watching?
What else? Sword Art Online. I've started
Yeah.
watching that. I'm about halfway through the first season of that. I've watched a couple episodes of the second half, and it's slowing down tremendously.
Yeah, when they move into
Yeah,
Elfland, it's not as good.
yeah. They haven't even got there yet. I'm still in real space, and that's
Oh.
not as entertaining of a show.
Oh.
But I do know where
it's
they
only
go there.
it's only like 3 or 4 episodes
Is it?
long.
Okay,
yeah,
good,
so
good.
they don't stay in real life very long.
Yeah, Meat Space. If I wanted to do that, I'd just walk out into Meat Space. But other than that, that's about all I'm watching.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. John?
I finally got into. I finished Sherlock, which was amazing.
Oh, it is a good series.
Yeah, but I think I talked about that last time. And then I got into.
Yeah, you
House-
did.
yeah.
Because you were like, yeah, it said 6 episodes.
Yeah.
And there were only 3.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was
Because they
awesome.
put the bonus materials up, got me all excited. And
Yeah,
it was,
we went, wow, this one's like twice as long
Yeah.
as the standard season. This
I
feels
know.
like a cliffhanger. Wait, this is where normally, oh, yeah, I did in there.
Yeah. So, yeah, and then I finally, I was waiting for my wife to watch House of Cards Season 2, and with my work schedule, I don't know when that was ever going to happen, so I was like, screw it, I'm going to do it, watch it on my own. I mean, she watched Once Upon a Time without me, so I'm, whatever. So I'm halfway, I'm on episode 19 of Season 2. It's 19? Maybe it's
Okay.
chapter 19.
Chapter 19.
That's it.
Yeah, so you're on
Chapter
episode
19.
7.
Yes.
That
Sorry.
confused me. I'm like,
No, the
there are
numbers-
there. Wait, did I
Yeah.
miss something? Did they
No.
release more? No.
No,
Yeah.
Does it get better after the first episode? Because I've watched the first episode twice.
Of
and
Season 2?
Of Season 1, and I couldn't
Oh,
get into the
oh,
show.
yeah.
Does it? Okay.
Yeah.
Does it?
Oh, Jesse.
You don't even...
I keep trying, and then I keep...
about House of Cards. Stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, for me, that series is depressing as heck. It makes me want to commit suicide
Oh,
if I
man.
watch too many of them.
No.
Yeah,
in a row.
we
But
sat
I
in-
really, really like it
we
because
sat
I
in,
love
like,
Kevin Spacey.
Marathon like 6 in a row, and at the end
I
I
was
was
just
like, "What do you
like,
want to do?" And she's like,
Not this.
"I don't know.
I turned
Maybe
or
maybe we should eat dinner eventually. I guess."
I
Like, she
will
was
lay
so
here and
sad.
die, and it's
I
fine.
loved West Wing. This is West Wing. Like,
Dark.
yeah,
West
Wing was, like, in D&D terms, West Wing was all the good alignment characters were the main characters in West Wing. In House
This
of
is a
Cards, all
good
the evil
analogy.
ones.
Yeah.
They're all on a scale of evil. I had my mind blown last night. I was talking to another friend of ours. She was watching The Princess Bride again because we had... Funny story, we went to a music and art show called Orange, and somebody had done a poster of Wallace Shawn as Vizzini saying, inconceivable, it looked a lot like Clinton. And it was hilarious, so we sent them a picture. We're like, hey, we didn't know Clinton was a model, blah, blah, blah. It was funny. That got them watching Princess Bride, and we were discussing Princess Bride via text, and I looked it up on IMDb. Robin Wright was the princess.
Yeah.
She's Jenny in
Oh.
Forrest Gump, and she's the wife in House
That-
of Cards.
I
Yeah,
had that.
Matt
blew
was
my
just
mind.
I had that same moment like 3 episodes into
Yeah.
House of
That's
Cards.
not
I was like-
Robin Wright.
I'm like, man,
Yeah.
Robin Wright's.
Robin
I'm like,
She's
this Robin
little
Wright
older.
chick is really good.
Yeah.
What else has she been in?
Yeah.
Forrest, Princess. Holy crap!
Yeah,
Yeah.
blew my mind at work last night. I was like, I turned to my coworkers. I was like, did you realize? And they were like, yeah. I was like, I had no idea.
I didn't
like,
realize that Jenny and the
wife on House
and what's her name from Princess Bride were the
the
same.
princess.
Yeah,
She's literally the Princess Bride in IMDb.
Fair enough.
That's her film credit. She has a name, but I forget it too.
Buttercup or something?
Buttercup.
Yeah.
I was
That's
going to say
it.
it's something flowery. I
Yeah.
think.
Anyway, I love House of Cards. like I'm not sure. Like if I knew Kevin Spacey's character Frank Underwood in real life and knew everything he had done in the show, I might still vote for him. Just
I don't know. Wait till you get to the end of the season.
Yeah,
it's because it's going in a way you don't expect.
Sure,
it happens very quickly, and you're not going to see it.
I'm just upset they shut down the rib place.
The Ripley's.
The rib place.
Not that far. Thanks for the spoiler.
No, that's okay, because it was in the newspaper, and Shirley was like, "Did you know?" And I'm like, "Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?" Jesse, I'm telling you, watch the first 3. I have a rule of thumb. If you hear everybody else say this show is good, watch the first 3 episodes. If at the end of the 3rd one you're like, then just give up.
Okay.
Don't worry.
I do need to, because the same thing happened to me with Deadwood. It's one of my favorite series. It's the first
I was going to say, like
Rome did the same way. I absolutely loved it after I got. So the first episode tends to be a killer, and I don't know. I like the setups. I love Scrubs, and it seems like a dark version of Scrubs because he's talking to the camera.
Which one? Scrubs?
Yeah.
Rome seems like Scrubs?
No. House of Cards reminds me of
Scrubs
because he's talking to the camera.
Okay, yeah. Well,
the camera's a person that he can only see.
Well, no, he's so arrogant. He is in God mode when he's talking to the camera. It's hilarious.
He's amazing.
Yeah,
it's just like
in episode 1 of season 2 of House of Cards,
the ending of that,
the middle of it, like. The
Subway?
Was
that
Subway? Yeah, that's not even the end.
How did that? Like,
we're not gonna spoil it.
Like, you hit that first episode, and unlike the first season where you're like, I'm not, because I got there, I was like, I don't know, I'm gonna watch the next one. You get to that second season, and the whole time your eyes are glued because you can't look away. This is something you didn't look away from, is it?
No,
you couldn't.
It got me hooked. So then we'll move on. Another movie that I found on Netflix that was interesting. I'm going to go watch it a second time. Called Detention. It is a train of thought hipster teenager horror movie.
Okay.
It's really like Scott. Like, did you guys watch Scott Pilgrim?
Yeah.
Like how they mix in the video game references.
Yeah.
This mixes in horror movie references. There's a girl. It opens up with the popular teenage girl doing a video blog of herself getting ready for school, and there's things popping up, on the screen, and you're like, man, if this is the main character I have to follow through this movie, I'm done. And then what?
Wow.
So, and then it moves on to the actual story. And
so are the pop-ups about, hey, the foreshadowing about, hey, this is gonna happen?
No, it's like she's like dissing the fat girl in her school, and they cut away to the scene, like they'll show her yearbook picture kind of in a bubble.
Oh, okay.
Like VH1 pop-up music. Pop-up videos. Kind of like that kind of stuff. And you like, again, they'll be doing a thing in the school, and then they'll cut away, and you're like, wait, am I in the same part? And no, they go to detention and they start talking about a horror movie. Then in that horror movie they start talking about a horror movie. So you go like 3 levels deep, and then you're like, wait, where the heck am I? What is going on?
And it's called Detention?
The movie is called Detention. I would not call it a horror movie because it's fast-paced comedic stuff, but they do kill
scary
people.
Movie.
It's more in line with scary movie than a horror movie. Yes.
Some more Shaun of the Dead-y, not Fat Cop. What is that?
Hot Fuzz.
Hot Fuzz. Why did I get fat? Oh, Run Fat Boy Run.
Run Fat Boy Run is another one of Simon Pegg's movies. Anyway, like I said, I'm going to go back and watch Detention again second time. There's time travel. It's really weird. It's kind of scary movie. That whole line of knockoffs, of spoofs, of whatever you want to call those type of movies where they make fun of the genre.
Okay.
That's kind of where this falls into, but it's not as dumb as Scary Movie. It's more intelligent.
Oh, okay.
Dane Cook is in it, and he's actually pretty funny.
Okay.
He's got a small role, so people who don't like Dane Cook, you're going to get just enough of him, but it's not going to be the normal Dane Cook.
Oddly enough, I really like his acting. Don't really care much for his comedy. His acting, every
movie
movie he's been in has been pretty good.
I'm kind of right there.
Just so I think I know who you guys are talking about. Is he the guy in Titanic? It's just all for himself.
No. Do you know Ryan Reynolds?
Yes.
He looks a lot like him and is often mixed up for me.
He did a movie with Jessica Simpson called Employee of the Month, where they worked at a big box Walmart type store.
Yeah,
With
I know what you're. I mean,
Ryan Reynolds was the
That's
bad
actually
guy
the
in
first
that
time I
one.
noticed that there were two separate actors.
Yeah, that's funny. Anyway,
All right. Well, you know what? That kind of does us tonight for the Nerds and Me
That's
Podcast.
it.
yeah, that's
Yes.
all our topics.
So you can find us on Facebook and Twitter as always. But what you should do is go over to the website and sign up for our newsletter. That'll be on the right-hand side, just below the Amazon link. And you can sign that up there and get all of the updates we have coming out. That'll come out to you only once a week, so that's kind of nice. And then you can head over to /loot and buy our shirts. And then, of course, always head over to the Patreon page. And if you feel like there's value here, give us value back, and we'd be happy to have that. We'll talk to you guys real soon.
This has been a production of the Omega Nerds Network, the network where it's on.